Hey guys, Nate with Matt Rat Jiu Jitsu Club. I wanted to do a video on a saying that you'll hear a lot in Jiu Jitsu as well, which is position over submission. And that is one that is near to my heart. Obviously, the goal is to get to a good position and then submit from that position. So what do we mean by position over submission? We mean that if you are in a dominant position, like the back, or you're in mount, or you're inside, you have somebody inside control, and your number one goal is to submit them with just throwing caution to the wind, and you lose your dominant position, that is what we're talking about. You shouldn't lose the position because you want the submission so much. If we're in a situation that's a self-defense situation, your goal should be control, number one. Your goal should be to get into a safe place and to control the person. And if we're talking about a competition, we want to control our opponent the entire time. Yes, we all want our submission rate to go up, and we all want to get better at our finishing skills. But if you're throwing caution to the wind and you're just throwing really loose arm bars or triangles, or you're just throwing things because your goal is just to get that submission at all costs, and you lose your position, that's not helping your situation. So what we would want to do is make sure that we are always in control, right? And that's something we have to learn. We have to learn how to control people inside control. We have to learn how to keep people in our mount. We have to understand how to keep control on the back. So when I do move into submission, I'm not giving up that good position. You know, there's plenty of times when you're in a competition, if you're going for a finish and you lose that finish, you should still keep the back, right? Or keep the mount, or keep side control. You shouldn't be all of a sudden now in a bad position because you let your opponent escape and get to a dominant position. So that's what we're talking about. And in order to do that, I would suggest that you slow down a little bit when you get to a dominant position. You are the one in charge here, right? You are the one who is in the dominant position. You don't need to rush. Slow down a little bit and work on your control. Work on, when you're in side control, start looking at options for submission, looking at separating the arms from the body, getting the elbow up, making sure that you have good pressure on top, maybe moving to mount, right? You're transitioning to even more dominant position. If you need to work on your knee on belly skills, you're looking at switching and controlling from that position. It is inherently not a super stable position. That's why I prefer to move to a mount position or to take the back. But we all find ourselves in the position where we have knee on belly on somebody, and even then, instead of rushing in to try to start throwing our legs over the head and trying to jump to our backs for the arm, let's work on how we control from that position. Okay, so that's what we mean from position over submission. Okay, we just want to make sure that we are controlling in those positions and we're not haphazardly trying to throw something out of nowhere, right? We need to slow down a little bit. So I hope that has helped a little bit, and I hope that you can go into your next training session maybe with a little bit more focus going into how you want to go about your next rolling session, whether it's open mat or it's after class. But go in with the mindset that if I take a dominant position, I am not going to let it go. I'm going to try to hold that position, and then I'm going to try to submit from that position. But I'm not going to get a submission that is going to damage my position from what it is, if that makes sense. Anyway, I hope that you found that helpful. I hope you find success in your next training session, and we'll see you on the mats.